Britain is on fire. And I feel like, just a feeling though, that it's only going to get worse if certain things don't happen. Let's get into it. Well, the past 24 hours in Great Britain has been very interesting to watch. We have had riots.
Get him, lads! Get him, fuckers! Smash that shit! Get that shit on, Bush! Get
Fires. Racism. Religious bigotry. Speeches from the Prime Minister. And all kinds of other things. So, where are we going to begin, actually? Let's begin with the Prime Minister.
I utterly condemn the far-right thuggery we've seen this weekend. Be in no doubt, those that have participated in this violence will face the full force of the law.
So first of all, I need to understand what the Prime Minister means by far-right. That's what I need to understand first, because far-right as an ideology means something. Now, I personally think that a lot of people who are doing these riots aren't necessarily far right. I think they're definitely ignorant, maybe. But I don't think that they're quote unquote far right. That's just my own personal view, but let's continue.
In no doubt, those that have participated in this violence will face the full force of the law. The police will be making arrests, individuals will be held on remand, charges will follow, and convictions will follow. I guarantee you will regret taking part in this disorder, whether directly or those whipping up this action online and then running away themselves.
We know who he's talking about there. He's obviously talking about Tommy Robinson there. There's no doubt that he is not talking about Tommy Robinson. I did a video a few days ago on Tommy Robinson. You guys can go and check it out and see what I think there. But what he said just there was a direct, indirect attack on Tommy Robinson. That's very interesting. That is very interesting. Like I said before in the video about Tommy Robinson. Tommy Robinson is a man who wields a lot of power, and the establishment don't like that. No matter where it goes, they want to be the ones in control. And so, yeah, if one man gains a lot of power and he's not part of the establishment, they're going to be pissed. But let's continue.
This is not protest. It is organised, violent thuggery. And it has no place on our streets or online. Right now, there are attacks happening on a hotel in Rotherham. Marauding gangs intent on law-breaking, or worse. Windows smashed, fire set ablaze, residents and staff in absolute fear. There is no justification, none, for taking this action. And all right-minded people should be condemning this sort of violence. People in this country have a right to be safe. And yet, we've seen Muslim communities targeted, attacks on mosques, other minority communities singled out, Nazi salutes in the street, attacks on the police, wanton violence alongside racist rhetoric. So no, I won't shy away from calling it what it is. Far-right thuggery.
Far-right thuggery is what he calls it. Now, like I said before, I don't know if what is happening is essentially far-right. I understand that there are far-right ideologies in this country. I'd be stupid not to know that. But is a teenager, young 20s boy who has been whipped up to know that to think that the immigrants are the problem and let's go to the hotel to get them, right? Is that far right? Does he have a far right ideology in his head? I don't know, particularly. I don't know if it is quote unquote far right. Now, this is what I'm going to say to the people of Great Britain, right? The white people of Great Britain. Black peoples, in this instance, are not your problem. You see, if we go back to the Windrush era, my grandparents were of that era. My grandparents came to this country and they were asked to come here. My grandparents didn't come over on a boat illegally. My grandparents were asked to come here, okay? I am a product of my mother being here and her having her children here from her parents, my grandparents, being asked to come here. So I want people to learn to differentiate between the types of immigration that has happened in this country. First of all, me and my lineage in this country were asked to come here, okay? So if there are people out there with their racism and they think somebody who's black deserves to be beat up, really and truly ask yourself, are they a part and parcel of this country, or are they someone from another country? Now, that being said, I'm not saying you should be beating anyone up because, you know, it's dumb, really. It's dumb, violent, and ignorant to be finding people and just beating them up. But I start to wonder, there's a conspiracy theorist in me a little bit. And as I get older, I get a little bit more conspiratorial. Did the people of this country, the powers that be, did they not know that taking a foreign people from a place and they're not invited, scrap that, and letting them come to this country from a foreign place that isn't about integration, it's about separation, right? Did they not think that there would be some kind of culture clash? This is what I don't understand, because if I, on this level, can see that there's going to be a culture clash, did the powers that be not see it? You see, going back to the Prime Minister's speech where he made a direct attack on Tommy Robinson, let's see what Tommy Robinson actually had to say.
Before anyone starts condemning the angry English men up in Southport, ask yourself this: what do you fucking expect them to do? Yeah? What message have our police force sent? They run away in Leeds. You run away from the Romanians. You've got your dogs out tonight on the lads, haven't you? You run away. What message do you send when you said there was no evidence against the Muslim lads who kicked the fuck out of 3 police officers? You said there's no evidence and you let them off because you were shit scared because they get violent. So what message have you sent to the British public? You're going to bring total anarchy to this country because you're basically telling people whoever's loudest, whoever riots, gets heard.
For those who don't understand what Tommy Robinson's talking about there, he's talking about the incident that happened at Manchester Airport where the Muslim guys attacked the police. Now, initially, we were told that, you know, these policemen just attacked these guys, and the video that came out, you saw the policeman kicking this Muslim guy, and I'm not gonna lie, it looked really bad. You're like, what are the police doing, right? And so when that happened, Muslims were angry. They were like, oh my God, the police are attacking us, look, Islamophobia, blah, blah, blah. And that's what it looked like. It looked like they were being attacked, right? And then the CCTV stuff comes out and you start to see what really happened. What really happened is that these guys attacked the police. Not only did they attack the police, they smashed a female police officer to the ground, right? Take a look at this.
So as we can see, police officers trying to make an arrest. They've put him in the arrest position. Friends coming around punching. Oh, there was some punches thrown. Then the guy in blue starts punching a police officer. There's a female. He smashes a police officer in the face, a female one. She goes down. Then he's just hitting the other one. Now he comes back for the other guy. And then they tase him and he's on the floor. And then what we see is we see the officer kick him in his face.
So that's what happened. And when Tommy Robinson's talking about, oh, this is what happened. I just wanted to put it in context. Let's continue.
Well, the British need hearing. You've allowed people into our towns and cities that are raping their way through our towns. They're murdering our kids, left, right and centre. Women are being raped daily across every city in our country from the fuckers that you've brought in. You've opened our borders. When you worry, your care needs to be about our kids. You care more for Afghanis, Somalis, Eritreans, Syrians, Pakistanis. You care more for them. You put them up. You house them. They're a danger to us. They're a danger to our country, and you give more of a fuck about them than you do about British children. You are endangering our country. You're endangering every one of us and our families by housing men you know nothing about across our country, and to top it all off, we're paying for it. So before people get on quick and condemn the angry men, that anger is justified. Okay? I'm surprised this took this long. And with your two-tier cowardice policing, you've actually encouraged the scenes you see tonight. You've done this. The government have done this. The police have done this. Your absolute cowardice has resulted in this.
The police and the government are the reason for this happening. You see, the conspiracy theorist in me says, maybe. Because like I said before, did they not know? Did they not foresee this? I'm not saying that this is the correct action to take. I'm just saying, did they not foresee this is what was going to happen? Like, this is, it was bound to happen. Like, pressure burst pipes. That's just like, it's physics, you know? It's physics. You can't keep letting people into a country with a totally different ideology and not expect a culture clash. It's just the most stupidest thing to do. I'm so sorry, but this is just stupid. Like, I've always said, like, if I ran Wakanda, right, and we've got Wakandan values and Wakandan morals, and then all of a sudden, the Wakandan government start letting in a bunch of, I don't know, Chinese people who were separatists, who didn't want to assimilate into Wakandan culture, who had their own culture, and then started demanding things from Wakandans, it's gonna cause a schism. This is why I said this schism was like it was bound to happen. And I'm saying it again to the white people of Great Britain. Black peoples are not your problem. Yeah? Black peoples are not your problem. It has taken black people since the Windrush era to fight through the Teddy Boys, to fight through the BNP, to fight through all of the racism that this country gave to them, putting feces through their letterboxes and all kinds of nonsense, right? It has taken black people this long to be okay in this country, to be cool with white people. You see black people down the pub, black people assimilating into families, blah, blah, blah. If that's what black people have chosen to do, that's what they've chosen to do. Why? Because black people are essentially assimilators. What you've done, you haven't invited, you have allowed a bunch of people with a totally different ideology, okay, which is also supremacist and imperialist, to fester in a country that is also supremacist and imperialist. You are going to get a schism. That's just what's going to happen. I'm going to say this to black people. I'm actually going to say this to black people. Fuck it. Black people, sit this one out. Sit it out. Don't get involved. Don't ask me to get involved on either side. I'm just telling you, I'm not getting involved on either side. I'm sitting this one out. Okay, that's what Sa Ra Garvey is going to do. I'm going to sit this one out and see how it plays out. I have my opinions, but I'm not fighting. I'm not out on the streets fighting for either side, okay? Because the knee-jerk reactions that people keep having to things going down is really quite frustrating for me. Because like I said, I think that this is being engineered to some degree. So because I think it's being engineered to some degree by powers that be, I'm gonna sit this one out. And I'm telling black peoples, I know everyone's watching this, but I'm telling black peoples, sit this one out, okay? Just observe and take notes. I'll I'll catch you lot on the flip side.